And Helen of Argos, Menelaus just might lead her home again. So he mocked, as Athena and Queen Hera muttered between themselves, huddled together, plotting Troy's destruction. True, Athena held her peace and said nothing, smoldering at the father, seized with wild resentment. But Hera could hold the anger in her breast no longer, and suddenly she burst out, "Dread Majesty, son of Kronos, what are you saying? How can you think of making all my labor worthless, or gone for nothing? Mortal labor! The sweat I poured, my horses panting, spent from launching Achaea's armies, heaping pains on Priam and Priam's sons. Do as you please, but none of the deathless gods will ever praise you." Rising in anger, Zeus, who drives the storm clouds, thundered, "Insatiable Hera! How great are the pains that Priam and Priam's sons have heaped on you, that you rage on relentless, forever bent on razing the well-built heights of Troy. Only if you could breach their gates and their long walls and devour Priam and Priam's sons and the Trojan armies raw, then you just might cure your rage at last. Well, do as you please. But in days to come, don't let this quarrel breed some towering clash between us both, pitting you and me in conflict. One more thing. Take it to heart, I urge you. Wherever I am bent on tearing down some city filled with men you love, to please myself, never attempt to thwart my fury here. Give me my way, for I gave you this, all of my own free will, but hardly willing. No, of all the cities under the sun and starry skies, wherever men who walk the earth have dwelled, I honor sacred Iliad most with my immortal heart. Priam, and men of Priam, who hurls a strong ash spear. Never once did my altar lack its share of victims, wine cups tipped from this deep smoky savor. These are the gifts we claim. They are our rights. And here the queen, her eyes wide, answered, "Excellent. The three cities that I love best of all are Argos and Sparta and Mycenae, with streets as broad as Troy's. Raise them. Whenever they stir the hatred in your heart, my cities, I will never rise in their defense, not against you. I never grudge your pleasure. What if I did forbid you to raise their walls? What good would it do? You are far stronger than I. Still, you must not make my labor come to nothing. I am a god, too. Mine is set the same as yours. Crooked-minded Kronos fathered me as well, the first of all his daughters, first both ways, both by birth and since I am called your consort, and you in turn rule all the immortal gods. So come, let us yield to each other now on this one point. I to you, and you to me. And the other deathless powers will fall in line. But quickly, order Athena down to battle now, into the killing ground of Trojans and Achaeans, and see that the Trojans break the sworn truce first, and trample on the Argives in their triumph. The father of men and gods complied at once. He winged Athena on with a flight of orders. Quickly, down you go to Troy's and Achaea's armies now, and see that the Trojans break the truce first, and trample on the Argives in their triumph. So he launched Athena, already poised for action. Down the goddess swept from Olympus' craggy peaks, and dove like a star the son of Cronos flings. Cronos, with all his turning, twisting ways, a sign to men at sea, or a massive army marching, blazing on with a stream of sparks showering in its wake, like a shooting star. Athena flashed across the earth, plunging down in the midst of both camped forces. Terror gripped the fighters looking on, stallion-breaking Trojans and Argive men of war. One would glance at comrade, groaning, "What next? Battle again? More pain and grisly fighting? Pacts between both armies? Oh, peace from Zeus, the great steward on high, who rules our mortal wars." As Achaeans and Trojans wondered what was coming, Athena merged in the Trojan columns like a fighter, like Antenor's son, the rugged spearman Laodocus, hunting for Pandarus, hoping to find the archer. And find him she did, Lycaon's skilled, fearless son, standing by, flanked by the bands of shielded men who trooped with him from Aesopus' dark rapids. Athena halted beside him, let her challenge fly. "Here's glory, son of Lycaon. Let me tempt you with your archer's skill. Have you the daring to wing an arrow at Menelaus? Just think what thanks, what fame you'd win in the eyes of all the Trojans. Prince Paris most of all, the first among all. You'd bear off shining, priceless gifts from him. Just let him see Menelaus, Atreus' fighting son, brought down by your shaft and hoisted onto his pyre, mourn with gifts and tears. Come, up with you. Whip an arrow at this invincible Menelaus. Now! But swear to Apollo, wolf god, glorious archer, you'll slaughter splendid victims, newborn lambs, when you march home to Zalia's sacred city." So Athena fired the fool's heart inside of him. And then and there he unstrapped his polished bow, and the horn of a wild goat he shot in the chest one day as a springy ibex clambered up on a cliff. Lurking there under cover, he hit it in the heart, and the fine kill went sprawling down the rocks. The horns on its head ran 16 hands in length, and a bower good with goat horn worked them up, fitted, clasped them tight, sanded them smooth, and set golden notch rings at the tips. Superb equipment. Bending it back hard, the archer strung his bow.